Okay, so she came to wait for me at work, and that was like our first date. So when I closed, I went back, and then I saw it. When I saw it, I was like, wow, you look beautiful. That was my text message to her. Instead of saying I'm here, I was like, wow, you look beautiful. And then, I mean, she was just awesome. When I saw her, she was just funny sitting there, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, she was just funny. And whilst we were walking, I was just laughing. She was just funny and just
That's so
beautiful.
funny.
The way you were walking, she was just shy. She was like, she put her hands in her pocket and she was just shy walking. And I was just laughing. I was like, yeah, I really laughed at her. But like, that's all I've ever wanted. Like someone funny, just be yourself. But I realized it was because it was our first date. So she was kind of shy meeting me for the first time. But later on, after I think 30 minutes or 45 minutes, she started bringing everything out. And I was like, oh, okay. All right.
I will never let you go.
It was raining too. That's why I was sitting on the bench, because it was cold and rainy.
Cool.
And then yeah, he came out. And yeah, it was just awkward because obviously first date, so you do the awkward like handshake, first hug thing. I don't even remember what we did. I think you hugged me.
Yeah, I gave you a hug.
Yeah. And then he's horrible at making decisions. So he was like, well, where do you want to eat? And I was like, I don't care, you decide, as we're wandering City Creek. And he's just so bad. I always have to choose.
No. I'm not horrible at making decisions. The thing was that, I've had experiences whereby, like, ladies, when you're going on a date with them, they are kind of like scared, especially if they don't know the guy. And sorry, but like me being black, it's kind of like, so I was mostly I just allow them to choose, so that because I've gone on a date whereby the lady has his friend patrolling all around, and I'm very observant. So I see, and I was like, I know your friends are around. If you're scared of me, why didn't you just tell me? So I made her decide. That's the reason.
So why do you make me decide everything still?
Because my mom said mostly ladies make the right decisions. Yeah. So
Okay, fair. But yeah, so awkward. He makes me choose. And we're just kind of wandering around City Creek, and it's pretty empty because it had been rainy. And so yeah, just super like awkward. We're not even standing by each other. And then we sit down and we're like have this big gap between us at the table, and we're just like awkwardly eating our food. Awkward conversation at first. It was really neither of us knew what to say.
I mean, we were observing social distancing because there was a pandemic.
No, that's not what was happening. It was just first date awkward, but yeah, then after that he was like, well, you want to go get some ice cream? And I was like, sure. So we drove to Trolley Square, and at that point we were pretty comfortable. We were laughing and joking. And then yeah, we were like cuddling on the bench just talking, and a security guard came up and was like, hey, take your arms off of her, just joking. And you just laughed really awkwardly like that because you didn't know if he was serious or not. And so yeah, that was that though. So.
Yeah. Okay, so she was just honest. She was straightforward. Like she knew what she wanted, and so we're just talking about it. And I was like, "This is what I also want and stuff." I told her everything. Like I'm someone I'll just tell you everything right on the first date, cause I'm like I'm not gonna play with you. If I don't want you, then I wouldn't want to go on a date with you. So I told her everything, and then she was just open, and I'm quiet. I'm super quiet. If you are talkative, and then you can make me talk. And so I love that about her. Like I just love that about her. And I wasn't fully in love with her, but like meeting her families and visiting other people, sometimes you go to a family gathering and then they'll take the girl into the room, and they'll be talking about stuff, maybe they don't want to hear. And some of the things I heard, like I heard 3 things, and these 3 things, I was like, okay, wow, this is the choice. So went to her grandparents' house, and they were in the room, and they were talking about finances and education, and I was like, okay. So they were like, you know how to keep your finances well, so you're okay, and you're very smart. And I was like, okay, this is the kind of girl I like to, spend the rest of my life with, because I have this like entrepreneur mind and I'm a business minded person, so I'm like, okay, I like that. And then when it comes to education, I've dated some people who are like, education is not really a priority in my family, so I'm like, but she loves education, and I'm like, okay. And then the other thing I heard, like, she was just in love with her grandparents. Like, I'm like, okay. And I was super close to my grandma, so like, I'm like, okay, this is good.
Yeah, same. He was just straightforward from the beginning, and he just was so accepting from the beginning. I had just gotten out of, I guess it had been a few months, but I had just gotten out of a really rough relationship where like we were practically engaged, and then suddenly he got cold feet and was like, no, and it like destroyed me. So me going on a date with him, I was like, I'm not taking this seriously. I mean, I wasn't not taking it seriously, but I also didn't expect anything to happen. And so for him to like sit down and we're eating dinner, and he wasn't afraid to ask the hard questions, and we were super vulnerable from the beginning, and I was like, okay, I like this. Like, I like how straightforward he is. And he's super romantic. Like, he's such a sappy romantic.
I didn't know.
Oh, you are not as much anymore, but when we were first starting dating, he's such a sappy romantic.
Not as much anymore?
No. Really? I remember he called me his queen once, and I was like, what? And he goes, no, that's not good enough. You're my sweetness. And that's like what he calls me now, is sweetness.
So I envision a bright future with her, because like I've been with her and I've seen certain traits that every man wants, and like I don't really talk about things that I'm doing, especially in terms of my business, or maybe even if I'm starting a business, or I have a non-profit, but I don't really mention it, and I don't really mention most of the business that I want to put out, but mostly she likes talking about them. Like, she's so passionate about them, and she's like, I'm gonna support you because I don't have like this business mind like you, so I'm just going to support you. And she's someone like, she has not met my parents, but she loves them. Like, she'd be like, hey, sometimes I'll be like, hey, I want to send this to my parents. Be like, oh yeah, send it to them. Like, just, I mean, she's just awesome. I don't even know how to describe her, but like, the last time she asked me, why do you love me? And I'm like, my love for you is unconditional, because I don't have, if I say I'll state a reason, I don't know, we are going to go like with a long list. But I feel like she brings out the best in me. Even when I was working for the church and I was taking classes, she would come to my apartment and she'd be like, can I help you with anything? And she helps me clean, and it's just, and when I cook, she just loves it. She just loves everything that I eat, just that she doesn't like anything spicy. And most importantly, she brings out the best in me, and I just love her for that.
In the Northwest, I've seen crazy.
What I love most about him is he has the biggest heart, and he's so sincere. He has his own nonprofit, does humanitarian work. He cares so much about not just the people of Ghana, like not just people in his own country, but people here in America too. Like, he wants to do anything he can for everybody and anybody. And he really lives his life to help people. And everything, all of his goals are centered around that. He just loves people with all of his heart, and he loves his parents like none other. And it's just the greatest thing to see. He just loves so big, and I have always been that way. I love working with people, I love helping people, and so that was something that like first attracted me to him, was just that mindset that he had. And yeah, it's my favorite thing about him. I'm so excited to see where that takes us. I'm super excited to one day be able to go back to Ghana and in person meet his family and experience all those things, and play with monkeys. I tell him that I need a pet monkey because you can't pet monkeys there, and that's huge. But yeah, I'm just so excited to explore the world and to have a family and to just the day-to-day life, just the simple. I'm a pretty simple person. I'm just easy to please, and just I'm excited to serve others and just be alongside.